So Brandis, I'm not that well versed, of course, and Rush, but I understand that you're kind of the person who knows it all. So tell us, if people aren't familiar, what is this Bama Rush and what makes it so exciting?
Well, good morning. It's so glad to be here. I call myself the self-appointed senior Bama Rush correspondent for Bama Rush on TikTok. Bama Rush is something that took off on TikTok about 5 years ago, and it was girls going through sorority recruitment at the University of Alabama. They were posting videos every day documenting their process going through this recruitment. And it's just basically the process by which young women get invited to join sororities. We call those bids, and it's different down south. We do it different down south. It's like our hair. It's bigger down south than it is anywhere else. It's a huge deal. But I have noticed since it took off on TikTok, I'm seeing Arizona State University popping off, Iowa, Wisconsin. We are seeing not Southern states, not SEC schools, really blowing up their rush. So I think they've started something down there in Bama.
First of all, I want to say that I love your accent. I've always wanted a Southern accent. I don't have one, but I've always wanted one. So I want to get that out of the way. But secondly, I want to ask you this. When it comes to really elevating the sororities, right? We've seen where social media really elevates people, put them to the next level. How do you think this social media status has really infused and elevated some of these sororities that are out there?
Okay, listen here. This is wild. These girls start posting videos during Rush Week, and they gain tons of followers. They gain the attention of these huge brands, especially beauty and fashion brands. And these girls can leverage that TikTok notoriety they gain during Rush for brand deals down the road. These girls are paying not only their sorority dues with money they make by sharing their Rush experience on social media, they're paying their tuition. It's wild.
Let me ask you a follow-up to that then real quick, Brandis. Obviously I remember when I went to college. I don't know where you went, Gabby, but it wasn't that long ago that we both were in college when we look at the dates, right? And back then social media was out there, but it wasn't to this level, right? So you knew when you went to college that you better study, you better figure out what you're going to do. Have you seen it where some of these young ladies have actually gone a completely different route because the social media has taken off so much?
I think so. And I just want to throw out there, there was no social media when I was in college. And I thank God for that every day, that my youth doesn't have to haunt me, because that internet never goes away.
Right.
No kidding.
But these girls, yeah, I think, social media is still a burgeoning career path, and it's taken a moment for it to gain the credibility and respect that it really deserves. People like to discredit the talent and the hard work it takes to succeed on social media, but you don't have to scroll through social media very long to see there's a lot of folks out there trying to get that social media notoriety, and it ain't working for them. So you got to have something going for you to make social media work for you. And the truth is, that's the future of marketing.
Yeah.
It truly is. And there's a huge opportunity for girls to create lives for themselves that they could have otherwise never dreamed of. We can pluck girls from obscurity, throw them on social media during Rush Week. They gain all this attention, and all of a sudden they're big stars with million-dollar brand deals.
Yeah.
So what do you think makes them so interesting? They have so many eyes on them. Obviously, between different age groups, even watching them. What do you think makes them a little bit different, this RushTok?
Well, I think, honestly, I think the largest audience for RushTok are middle-aged women like myself. And I think the whole point of RushTok is it's there to transport us back to a time and place where we still had functioning thyroids and cartilage in our knees. It's a distraction. It's a happy distraction from the crazy world we're living in. It takes you back to your youth. You can live vicariously through these girls. And I like to put the emphasis on hyping these girls up all week. because you got to think at the end of the day, these are 17, 18-year-old girls. They don't know who they are. They're branching out from their hometowns, from their parents' house for the first time in their lives. I just like to be there to give them a little encouragement, hype them up, tell them how pretty they are every day. And, they say, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie. Words are so important, and social media creates this platform where people like myself and other people who are interested in this process can use their words in a very powerful way to boost the confidence of these young women. Because here's the thing: everybody thinks you have to have a lot of money to make it on Sorority Row. Money doesn't hurt. I ain't gonna lie. But the most powerful currency during Rush Week is confidence. And that's what I like to use my platform for. I want to give these girls confidence so they can walk into these sorority houses, be the best version of themselves, and so that they're ready to deal with the rejection, because rejection is inevitable. You only get one bid. Like, I think the University of Alabama has 17 sororities, something like that. At the end of the week, you get a bid from one house. So you're getting cut from 16 houses. Rejection is part of it. And these are children. Their frontal lobes aren't even developed. And they're having to learn to navigate these really complicated emotions. But I think that will pay off for them in the long run, because, as I'm sure you all know, rejection is a part of life. You can't let it crush you. You got to keep going. And these girls are learning this lesson right out the gate.
You're absolutely right. Rejection is part of life. We know it. We're on TV. We get some of that in the comments too. Let me ask you something. I love your personality, by the way. I think it's absolutely amazing. I really think you should go into comedy. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But Lifetime is releasing a new reality show today, and it's all about sorority rush, a sorority mom's guide to rush, and you're actually in it. Tell us about it.
Oh my gosh, I love this show. This is the most fair and accurate depiction of sorority recruitment that we have ever seen in media. We haven't seen a lot of this process in media. It's always been elusive and mysterious. And I feel like we're pulling the lid off here and giving everybody a behind the scenes take, because there's a lot of people who go through Greek life, but there's a whole lot more who have no idea what Greek life is or how it works. This is a crash course in sorority life and sorority recruitment. That in and of itself is going to be interesting for people who are not familiar with Greek life. However, at its core, this is a show about mothers and daughters. I like to say, if you are a mom or you have a mom, you will feel seen in this show, regardless of any affiliation you may have with Greek life. This is a show about the dynamic relationship between mothers and daughters. And I like to look at it as, I was a mommy's girl. I lost my mommy in 2022, and I'm watching our episodes and I'm like, this is going to be such a gift for these girls and for these mothers. 20 years down the road, they're going to be able to look back on this footage of them interacting with their mothers. And what more precious gift can you give a mother and a daughter than to have this video footage of their relationship that they can always hang on to? I just think that is so precious. What I wouldn't give for a video of me and my mom interacting my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
It would be so interesting.
I'm sorry about your loss of your mom too. I know that has to be hard. So yeah, appreciate you sharing that.
I'm excited to see that part of it too. The excitement of going through Rush, but yeah, seeing a way to relate to the show through different mother-daughter relationships. So I have a question for you. Of course, okay, we're going to follow you, Brandis. We're going to make sure that you're keeping us on top of Rush Talk, but also, excuse me, you're just too excited. All right. Okay, Kylan Darnell, I know that name, right? She's been on the scene for a few years now, but also, there's other names that are coming down the lines, like Kylan's sister, I think. But what are some other, TikTokers that we should follow to really keep up with their journey?
I'm glad that you were asking this question, because that is so helpful to these creators who are putting a lot of effort into making this content covering RushTok. I was up so late it took me 3 hours to do my recap video that was like 5 minutes long last night. It's so much work. So yeah, let's throw some love to those creators. Kylan Darnell is great. Izzy Darnell is great. They always steal the show. I'll tell you another one is Caden Kilpatrick is another creator who she is a Zeta at the University of Alabama. She was a content creator before she went to school. She rushed I think last year, maybe the year before. But anyway, you can count on Kate and Kilpatrick for consistent, good coverage of what's happening on Sorority Row. Another one is Nina, beauty influencer. She does great, positive, uplifting Bama Rush coverage every year. But here's the thing: if you start scrolling TikTok and you're watching Rush videos, as long as you're watching the video all the way through, you're liking, you're interacting with those videos, the TikTok algorithm is going to feed you more Bama Rush content than you could ever hope for. I also want to throw out there too, you got to go follow the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. College of Charleston AD Pies, Alpha Delta Pies, that's a sorority there. Their content is superb, as is I've seen several sororities from Arizona State University. They're doing a great job posting content right now. So look up whatever your alma mater is, whatever the college is in your state or your hometown. Go look up and see if they have sororities posting content, and just start interacting with all that content. And your FYP is going to take care of it for you. It's going to serve you all the content you possibly need.
You know, maybe switching gears a little bit, Brandis, but I think sororities kind of had a bad connotation to him for a while, you know, with the hazing and stuff like that. You know, these girls, they're really into philanthropy, aren't they? They're really into different things, influencing in a positive way. What else can you say about that to maybe, you know, teach people about how sororities work now?
Well, honestly, Greek life, particularly sorority culture, has been portrayed in a fairly negative light in pop culture. Let's just acknowledge that. And it's not that it's all, you know, it's not that everybody's a girl's girl and everything's great all the time, but it's not as superficial and shallow as I think most people are led to believe that it is. And I think watching our show on Lifetime is going to show you that there's a lot more depth, not only to this process, but to these girls who are going through it. I mean, this is emotional and psychological warfare, and these 17, 18-year-old girls are on the front lines of it for a week to 10 days in August every year in the heat and humidity in most places. Have you ever been to Alabama? Oh my gosh, it's not only so hot, that humidity, it's unbearable. I don't know how these girls do it, and they look beautiful all day, but they pack these big rush bags. You got to search on social media for the sorority rush bag content. What these girls are packing in their bags, they've got everything in their rush bags except freeze-dried rations. I said, if the apocalypse comes, I want to find me a sorority girl, because she's going to have a rush bag and we're going to survive.
Brandis, I'm back finally after I got a little choked up. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to ask you really quickly, you said something that I thought was really interesting. You talked about kind of raising the veil of what, you know, Rush Week is all about. Why now? Why do you think it's so important for that to happen now?
Well, I think we just discovered that there's this immense interest in this. I don't think we ever realized how interested people were in sorority recruitment. It just seemed like a very exclusive process, that if you didn't have privilege and money and you didn't look a certain way, then, you know, you couldn't know anything about it. It had to be a secret from you. Well, now with these girls posting these videos on social media, everybody has access to this process, and we're intrigued. I think we're just intrigued. And now we've been able to see a little bit of inside of this process on social media, and we want more. They gave us a little, now we want more, and that's what we're doing on Lifetime. We're giving you an entire series dedicated to sorority recruitment and a mom and daughter's relationship, navigating through that.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time today. Mm-hmm. And really sharing your story with us. It was definitely moving. And again, condolences to the loss of your mother.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Yeah. It was fun. We got to have you back.
Mm-hmm. In person, Brandis.
I want to come to the studio. I want to come to Chicago.
Please do. Oh, we'll have a seat ready for you. Before we let you go, where can people find you on social media?
I am Brandis Bradley. You can probably look for my name and find it. But I also, my handle is Makeup Artist at Law. I'm a lawyer too. Ain't that funny? And I was a makeup artist in my former life, and then I became a lawyer, so I'm a Makeup Artist at Law. And then I'm on QVC as well. I have a clothing line, Brandis Dressed Out Loud, on QVC. So
we got to get some stuff.
Okay, so we can make a whole show with you pretty much. Do different like personalities in each segment.
Yes.
Okay. Brandis, let me ask you this before we let you go. Do you make sweet tea? You just seem like you would make a mean sweet tea.
I'm almost embarrassed to admit this. Okay, listen, I live in Nashville, but I'm from Kentucky. I don't like bourbon. Oh, and you ain't gonna believe this. And I'll have to move. I'll have to come up north and live in Chicago with you all when I say this. I like unsweet tea.
Really? What?
Is that awful?
We're not
How could
gonna
this
mention,
be?
we're not going to mention it out of the studio. Okay?
Yeah, we're not gonna
Yeah,
tell
don't-
anybody that.
Is this local? Is it only Chicago
Yeah,
people
you're
watching
safe,
this?
you're safe.
Well, other people can
Okay.
see it. I mean, I don't know. Some other
She's
people
going
might
to work
see
on it. Yeah.
I have learned myself here today.
love
I have
your
admitted
accent.
that I like my tea unsweet, but I am the exception, not the rule down here.
A
You're so
lawyer, a
cute.
makeup artist, and an actress, a comedian. You're everything.
This is the pep talk I needed today. Thank you all so much. I'm so glad I stopped by to get hyped up. This is what I've been wanting to do for each other
Visit us
everywhere. Yeah, this is what it's all about. Women appreciating each other, hyping each other up. You all just got my day off to the right start. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome. It was a pleasure meeting you, and we'll have you back on later.